Hey Yoda! Tingato! Hello! And welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program with our second episode of Career Mode. In the last one we unlocked this very first tier here, basic rocketry, and we got ourselves 4 new parts including a stack decoupler, very useful for making more complicated craft. The mystery goo containment unit, which is our first scientific instrument that we can put on our craft. And that's another way of gaining science other than crew members, which is really awesome. We got a smaller fuel tank, the T100, and then a larger fuel tank, the T400, to complement our standard fuel tank here, the T200. So you can kind of see there from this sizes, depending on the number. Anyway, so I've been looking at these 3 next sciences that we want to get, and I think I don't want to get this one first. Even though it has the landing struts, we're probably not going to be leaving Kerbin within at least the next few episodes, so this one here isn't going to be our top priority, even though it comes with all this nice landing stuff. Then here we have this, the radial decoupler. That is really handy for making vastly more complicated craft, because you've got this one here. If you can use this one as well, you can, you know, decouple stuff off the side. So this is probably going to be our top priority, I would say, for getting up into orbit and things like that. And then up here, this one is also a pretty high priority as well, because you've got, again, the more powerful engine, and I believe it's got a gimbaling, yeah. Vectoring range 1.0. So it's about the same, maybe a little bit more powerful, I think. And then, yeah, well, this is cool as well, but yeah, we don't really need fuel boosters at the moment. Anyway, we don't have enough science to even get this one down here, 15. We've actually got 14.9. If you remember, we actually got, what was it, 19.9 science? But it only shows the full numbers, so yeah, we basically need 1 more science. But I want to try and get these 2 if I can, and that's going to cost us 38 science, which means that we're going to need to over double what we have, so I don't know how reasonable that's going to be. Anyway, so if we want to try and do that, what we need to do is to create a craft, and I've already gone ahead off camera and built one. If we go inside the VAB, we can see, if I go ahead and load it, where is it? We'll go ahead and take a look at the Mark 1 first, the KSC Explorer Mark 1, because hey, you need to explore KSC as well, right? So this is my first version of it that I built off camera, and I was wondering whether or not, basically this is just a test to see if the fuel that's in these parts here, it starts with fuel inside there, if that would actually automatically feed over into there, and it doesn't. The way that fuel works in this game is that a fuel tank needs to have an engine under it, and then the fuel tank will drain into the engine basically below it, so the fuel drains in stacks, and then if there's a fuel tank on top, that'll drain into a fuel tank below. The only way to send fuel between stacks is using the fuel lines, which we do not have access to in our tech tree yet. So this craft basically only has 180, 220 fuel, so it's not very practical. Which is why I went ahead and built the Mark II. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this Mark 1. I want to try and keep things as low as possible. I just wanted to show you guys so that I could explain the fuel things a little bit better. So let's go ahead and load the Mark II. It's a little bit larger, but the main difference is that I used decouplers a little bit more, I think, and I basically went with the same design. The only difference is that instead of having the fuel tanks here, I've got this, what is it? It's a cuboidal strut in between there to kind of get around the fact that we need to have stack decouplers. So this is my workaround basically. Hopefully we'll try and get those stack decouplers today. I've got 3 engines on the bottom, and then I actually have a 4th engine in here, and then a little bit of fuel here for that as well, using our new fuel tank. And then on the top here I have 2 mystery goo tanks. Yes, so that's going to be cool. So no matter what happens, these mystery goos are going to stay attached to our capsule, which has our Kerbal inside. Really neat. So if we go ahead and take a look at the description, I've gone ahead and written a description, and I think I want to try and do some kind of nomenclature thing. Nomenclature? Nomenclature? Is that how you say it? I think it's nomenclature, but I always say nomenclature. Anyway, I kind of want to start it off by saying no action groups or what the action groups are. I think that's pretty important. And anyway, we've got a nice description here. The KSC Explorer's goal is self-explanatory. to learn more about the Kerbal Space Center. In fact, we know almost nothing about who built KSC. Rumors have speculated that a gang of monkeys wearing glasses and helmets are responsible. In any case, this craft should allow us to gather some more science from in and around KSC. So that's really our goal of this craft, basically just to get off the launch pad, travel somewhere else in KSC. My goal is actually going to be the runway, which is out that way, I guess, in relation to the launch pad. And yeah, I think the runway is an extra biome, but I'm not too sure about that. We'll have to see. Anyway, this guy is all ready and prepped for launch and ready to go. I haven't flown it yet. I did fly the other one, which is why I knew that the fuel lines didn't work, but I have no idea if this one will even work. So I will see you on the launch pad. Alright, the physics has loaded in and we are about ready to go here. We've got Jeb Kerman flying with us again. Now, I'm actually going to go here. This is kind of partially the reason why I put 2 Mystery Goo tanks on here, so that I can actually do one here and then over at the runway. If the runway is a different biome, I think it is, we'll have to see. But yeah, I want to go ahead and use one of these now. You just right click on it, Mystery Goo Containment Unit, observe the Mystery Goo. This bay will open. The Mystery Goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. Oh wow, that's useful. That's worth 3 science. Awesome. We'll keep that. And then I think we'll try and do a crew report. That's going to be... yeah, we didn't get the crew report from here, from the launch pad, so go ahead and get that. That's already 4.5 science. Yeah! Alright, so... yeah, let's get ready to go here. Activate the SAS. Let's throttle up a little bit. Probably don't need too much because we've got 3 engines. Even that's probably too much. Let's go ahead and keep this open. Right, so our goal is to try and head over to the launch pad. I'm not too sure how I'm going to go with steering this craft. I'm a little bit nervous every time I need to steer things in Kerbal Space Program. I'm not very experienced at the game yet. Well, pre-flight checks have been completed. Are you ready, Jebediah?
Yes, Birdtross. Oh yes, Commander Birdtross, I am ready.
Alright then, let's get started in 5, 4... It looks like Jeb was a little bit over-eager there. Let's go ahead and go down gently. Oh, not too gently. Let's head over this way. Okay, just gotta keep that speed under control. See, this is only pretty much all you need. Oh dear. See, it's a little... I'm just a little bit worried because it's a little bit more powerful. We're heading down, even though we're accelerating. Okay, so now we're going up. Okay, let's try and keep ourselves relatively low. We've used one of these things already and we should be able to get Jeb out to take a sample. Oh! Let's dab the S key and decelerate a little bit because we're heading into the air. Now we're coming down. We're getting pretty close to the runway. This is actually going ridiculously well. I thought this was going to be much more challenging. Maybe it's just the SAS module. Whoa! Okay. Okay. Oh! Oh! Oh no! No! Oh! Turn the engine off! Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Well, we made it onto the runway. Good start. Right. Let's get the observed Mystery Goo. Is this a new biome? Let's see if it is. Mystery Goo observant from runway. So yes, this is a different biome. The goo seems to behave very much the same as it always does around here. It's going to be with 3 again. Fantastic. And then let's try and get Jeb out on an EVA. And let go. Just flop down and get up and get off your craft there, Jeb. Get up. There we go. Okay. Now we should be able to take a surface sample and whatnot from here. EVA reports. The EVA report from the runway worth 2.4 again. Yeah, that's not very much. We'll keep that. What about the surface sample? 9 science. Very good. It's actually not a bad amount of science. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much the mission done. I don't think we can get back up in the craft, though. Maybe if we jump on the fuel tank, but I don't think that's going to work. Nope. So it looks like I'm going to have to recover these separately, or maybe I can glitch it a little bit and squidge on, jump on this mystery goo canister of the parachute or something. Let's see. Aerobic time at Kerbal Space Center. Oh, he did stand up on the mystery goo. Let me see if I can get on there. Jump back a little bit. Yep, there we go. There's we go. Right, stop wobbling around, craft. Alright. Grab and get inside the back way. But first. Oh dear. Right, we're about ready to recover this vessel and see how we did. We hardly used any of our fuel. I over-prepared for that, but that's okay. Let's recover that vessel and see how we did. Okay! Science summary from KSC Explorer Mark II. So we got 1.5, 9, 2.4, 3, 3, 0.8 for recovery of a vessel that survived a flight indeed. So that gave us a total of 19.7 science. Is that a little bit less? It's 0.2 less, okay. We still did pretty good there. That's a total of 34. Let's go take a look in the research and development. Now we can definitely get the next level of these. So which one do I really want to get next? Probably this one, just because it's worth the most. That'll make getting the rest of these easier. So let's go ahead and research that for 20 science. More engines, more fuel, and ambitious ideas. Sweet. Okay, now that unlocks 2 more things. These are worth 45 science each. You can see where this is going, can't you? But okay. Looks like we need to head back into the VAB to get ourselves some more science. Yeah! And welcome back. We're taking a look at the KSP Explorer. And I've already renamed it. The reason is we're actually going to be switching out these engines for the new engine that we just unlocked, the LVT-45. It has gimbaling in it, which makes it, in my opinion, far superior to this one because it's much more useful for navigating, especially over these short ranges. That comes at a downside though, that the engine is actually slightly less powerful, but we're not even working at quarter thrust here, so the engine power at the moment is not my primary concern. So let's go ahead and throw these 3 new engines on there. And we're going to keep the 30 in there, I don't know, just in case things go horribly wrong. So we're going to go ahead and save this as the Mark III with the new engines, and let's get that back to the launch pad. Let's see if we can get some more science. Physics is loaded in. Fantabulous. Now, where are we going to try and go next? We've actually got a couple of different options. I believe the coast, because when we were flying up, the coast was a different biome. So possibly we could head over that way and get some science from the Kerbal coast. I don't know if that'll be possible though. I think I just want to demonstrate something here. We took a mystery goo sample from the launch pad just before. If I go ahead and take another one, you can see now the science value is, it's actually still worth something. I didn't think it would still be worth something, but the point is that it's worth significantly less. Well, no, it's actually it's worth about, well, anyway, it's less than what it was before. What I'm saying is that you can, every area only has a certain amount of science available. There used to be a version of the game where you could basically just spam the science and you could unlock the entire tech tree in, you know, a good 2 or 3 missions just by flying to Minmus, basically. But yeah, now they've changed it so that you can only use scientific instruments once, and you can only do that, and that's kind of the other reason that I had 2 of these things on there. So we're going to save our Mystery Magoo by resetting the experiment, and that'll reclose the thing. Cool, and it'll be ready to go again. So I don't know if over there is a different biome from the launch pad, and even over there it might be. We'll see. Let's get the SAS activated, throttle up a little bit, and I'm gonna try and land. Let's try and land on top of the VAB. That was a challenge that we had in the last episode that we didn't do quite well for. But now we've got different engines. You see, these ones gimbal. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but they do kind of waddle over to the sides a little bit. That's basically what gimbaling is. The entire nozzle, I guess that's called. It basically flips around a little bit, which is really handy for you know, making these small corrections and basically just keeping the craft traveling the same way. Okay, we need to head up and pretty quickly here. Okay, so that's... still need to go up a little bit more. Now, thanks to your feedback in the last episode about the Z fighting of these textures, I've gone ahead and buffed the graphics settings up to high. So let's see if that helps out. Okay, we can stop now, but slowly, slowly! Oh! Oh dear. So far, every single one of our landings has ended in disaster. That's beautiful. We should still be able to use the magical forces to wiggle ourselves out of this predicament, and in particular just get Jeb out of the command pod. Okay. Yep. Can't really waddle too much. That's about as much as we can do. Yeah. Just in the queue there to move the roll around. Alright. So now let's try and take one of these mystery magoos from the top of here. So we just do KSC. The goo seems bored. 3 science. Very good. Now let's take a crew report from here. This is basically what I guess this is just what you have to do. This is our space center here. We're home. That's worth 1.5 science. I want to try and get as much science as we can. So that's all we can do from in here. So we have to hop out. Flop down on top of the building. Let's try and head up to the let's head up to the top for coolness. Okay, so we've got this ladder here which is actually interactable. I wasn't expecting it to be interactable, but it is. Oh, can he get up? Oh dear, we can't actually get on the helipad. Squad might need to work on that a little bit. We can't quite get up. If I flop down, yeah, okay, just come back down here. Well, that kind of sucks. Alright, let's escape the ladder and take our samples from here. Let's take that surface sample worth 2.3 science. The substance is what makes the scientists yell at us when we go into the labs without cleaning our boots first, so that's the same even though we're basically on top of a building. It should be concrete. We're taking a sample of concrete into the labs. The scientists and builders in particular won't be happy about that. Worth 2.3 science. And the EVA report is not worth anything, so no point taking a crew report. Okay. So, yeah, let's head back down. Well, actually, let's just take the expressway. Whee! Bonk! Whee! Bonk! Right. Now we should be able to get back into this guy. And we're actually going to be leaving some debris here, aren't we? We'll have to go and clean that up off camera. Right, let's grab that board, and then let's recover the vessel and see how we did. Okay, so we got 1.5, 2.3, 3.0, and 0.1 from the recovery of a vehicle that survived the flight. And that gave us a total of 6.9 science, bringing our grand total up to 21. And that'll be enough to go ahead and get one of these. So it's probably going to be this one, but let's just take a look around. Do the shopping properly. And these are worth 45. They're way out of our range for now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these. And these engine? And these radial decouplers are going to be absolutely amazing for giving us the ability to go ahead and make some much more superior craft in the coming episodes of Kerbal Space Program. That's very cool. We're down to 3 science now. We can't buy anything else. And we are also out of time for this episode. So if you want to see the next mission, well, I don't know what we will try to even do. Maybe try to do something a little bit more extravagant. Try and get into orbit, maybe. We'll have to see. Hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Kia kaha. And I'll see you in the next video.